Welcome to the Never Ending Backlog podcast, your place for short reviews from a gamer with the goal of reducing his backlog. From adventures to sandboxes, join our host as we walk through a collection of unplayed treasures. Now, let's take a look at the featured game of this episode of the Never Ending Backlog.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the next episode of the Never Ending Backlog podcast. I am your host, Zach, and today we will be reviewing I Have No Idea What I Am Doing. Yes, that is the name of the game. I have no idea what I am doing. Oh, sorry. I have no idea what I'm doing prototype. Yes, no idea what I'm doing prototype. It is made by Double Fine. So, as you remember from our last episode, we reviewed Hack and Slash, which is also by Double Fine. And essentially, this game is a lot of stuff, actually. It's a lot more than I thought it was going to be. It was in the more recent Humble Bundle that I had purchased for Double Fine. And basically, it's part of a video series called Amensia Fortnight. No, this does not deal with Fortnite. It's spelled entirely different. It's actually spelled the correct way. Fortnight. And essentially what it is, and this interests me as I work in the marketing of a software company, a SaaS-based solution that has hackathons and stuff like that. Basically what it is Amnesia, and this is from the Steam description, Amensia Fortnight is a 2-week game jam during which anyone at Double Fine can pitch an idea, and if it's selected, lead a team to turn it into a concept to a working prototype. This documentary series is the ultimate record of that event, as project leads succeed or fail to bring their games to life. What a cool idea. Just basically a step away from reality that allows developers to pitch ideas, or people at a company to pitch ideas and try to make the game a reality. Like I said, that's a hackathon. At our company, that's what we do. We don't make video games. Wish we did. That'd be fun, right? Anyway, so I have no idea what I'm doing. Prototype is a VR game, which I have the Oculus Rift S. And essentially what it is you are in a very graphic, in a childish way, kind of like think Teletubbies on steroids, very bright and colorful little spot of property. And you have all these different items like a stuffed bunny and steak and carrots and apples and all these random things around you. And then if you turn around, there's this giant big creature looking right at you. And he looks like he's going to eat you. He's not going to eat you. At least I don't think he is. He hasn't eaten me yet. And essentially what happens is you're in this VR world and someone is on your computer. So you have to have the computer monitor running. And the computer monitor will tell somebody a hint, such as, hey, feed the giant purple monster a carrot. And then you, in the game, feed the carrot. You don't have any instructions in the game when you're wearing the VR headset. You just have to act it out. And then the people on the screen are the ones that actually give you the instructions. Neat idea for a party game, may I say. Props to them for that. I will likely play this with friends, since I think playing it by yourself is incredibly difficult. In fact, it's nearly impossible. I was running to different sides of my computer to see the instructions, run back, act it out, back, forth, so on and so forth. Overall, cool idea for a game. It is funny, though, since this is a prototype. In the beginning, when it has the happy little animation before that game actually loads, it says, this game will likely have bugs, issues, so on and so forth, that will likely never get resolved. So this game probably won't go anywhere massively, but it's fun. It's a cool thought process. When you buy this game, you actually get the video series of, how they talked about it, etc. They have multiple seasons out. I think they said they're up to 12 seasons already. I think so. Anyway, it's a lot. It's a lot of seasons. So they've been doing this for a long time, which I think is really cool. There's a lot of games that came into this. As mentioned, I got this from Humble Bundle. And this included a lot of the video series already with it. So that's really, really cool, I think. And honestly, I immediately judged this game because, it's just like some beta test. I get it. It's just a funny dev. I didn't realize it's from basically like a hackathon. Now that I did that, I'll actually probably watch the videos next just to see how they work and how they operate. Double Fine's definitely been a cool group. Brutal Legends was a game that I thoroughly enjoyed because A, I love Jack Black, and B, the thought of like a metal slaying third person view kind of game is just awesome. Based I'm a big fan of Tenacious D as well. So Jack Black, if you're listening and you want to be on a future podcast, I'd love to have you here. Please join me one day. Jablinski. Anyway, really cool game. There's not really a lot to say about it. It seemed to work really well. I will say you do need to have space in your apartment for the game to run properly. That was a big problem for me as I run this in my little office. It is a tiny little office. So you actually have to walk to a hammer, which is very, it's very rubbery, but the end of it looks kind of inappropriate. So I'm not going to jump into what it looks like, but I think you can probably figure that out. Anyway, it's very rubbery, and you have to walk across the room or the area and hit start game. Well, that was challenging since I almost punched my TV because I did not leave myself enough space. So, fortunately, I found out how to actually use my Oculus Rift S wirelessly while streaming Steam VR from my computer. And it takes dealing with Virtual Desktop, the application on your screen, on your VR device, your Oculus Rift S, which if you're not aware, and I just realized entirely, I am incredibly sorry. I do not have the Oculus Rift S. I was going to get the Oculus Rift S, but instead I got the Oculus Quest. So, very different. My mistake. The Oculus Quest is the wireless headset that basically has its own built-in OS that runs the stuff. And you basically have like this selection of Oculus games that are found in it. But if you want to connect to your computer, they recently just allowed you to plug the USB cable or the USB-C cable into your computer to basically stream it off that. It's still in beta, so there's a lot of bugs, blah, blah, blah. However, someone else found out a way you can use Sideloader and basically run Virtual Desktop wirelessly. So now I can run it upstairs in my house and connect it to my computer and do it that way instead and play the full VR library wirelessly without power cables hanging down or connecting to my computer and all that stuff. So I've been playing Half-Life Alyx and all those games wirelessly on my Quest, and it feels like that's exactly how VR was meant to be played. So works really well. There's a million tutorials out there, but as a reminder, this is the Oculus Quest, not the Rift S. I was going to get the Rift S because I wanted that full power of playing it on my computer with no issues. But after watching a tutorial, I was like, well, this seems relatively easy. I can do it this way anyway. And I just got to buy a $15 tool. And honestly, like my wife plays Beat Saber. I play Star Wars Darth Vader Immortal. And other than that, we really don't do a ton on VR. And so games like I have no idea what I'm doing Prototype kind of offers a fun escape. The problem with this game, and it is kind of a big problem for me, is if I'm going upstairs, which has a larger area in my house, then I can play this game and grab the flaccid hammer and hit start a new game and all this stuff. But the problem is someone has to be around my computer to read off the instructions. So I either have to run up and down the stairs and get strong cardio, sounds terrible, or just have my wife yell at me from downstairs, which I guess you could do. That adds a new aspect to this party type game, but it still is a little bit of a struggle. It's meant for people with bigger houses, not people with small offices, unfortunately. So overall, fun game. I'll likely try it in a party type setting. I'm assuming anarchy will come from it. I'll definitely watch the video series now. Like I said, it's called Amensia Fortnight. It's available on Steam because Steam does have the video series. You can watch it there. You can see how the game is being developed, and then you can see the final project and play it for yourself. So I'm actually really looking forward to, I think, that more than anything. So thank you very much, Double Fine, for providing that in Humble Bundle. I am very much still looking forward to that. And this has been my review of I Have No Idea What I'm Doing Prototype, which could be the new name of this podcast because that just seems to sum up this whole thing. Anyway, have a great day. Thank you for joining us on the Never Ending Backlog podcast. We have one more episode tomorrow, and it should be... Actually, no, we don't. Never mind. Today's Friday. We are all done for the week. I will see you on Monday, and have a terrific weekend.